Greetings sailors, welcome back to a bit of World of Warships. I wasn't quite sure what to pick for this recording, but then I figured I'd do something a bit wacky. Something I haven't played in a little bit, and also something that obviously is a slight source of shame for me. As those of you who remember the circumstances surrounding me getting this thing will recall. And if you don't recall, then I invite you to go back and watch the video where I talked about exactly how much of my soul I gave away for this. But that's in the past now, so we're going to hit battle. We're going to see what kind of circumstances I get, and hopefully it won't involve CVs. I'm actually recording this quite early for me, but hopefully it's not too early for there to not be some decent matchmaking, but I guess we'll see. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad at all. There are a couple of radars around, and the enemy destroyers are some quite sneaky. The Parashimas. I can't remember offhand what Dalana has, but I can just check that actually. You can look these days. You can see what the base concealment would be. 6.1. Okay. I mean, it's the Kitakami. There aren't a lot of destroyers that are less stealthy than the Kitakami. Although there's some of the French gunboats that you can deliberately make less stealthy, depending on what options you pick. By which I mean you can take none of the stealth options rather than you can make the stealth worse. I know what I mean. But yeah, we're not going to be... like the upside of there being a couple of destroyers per team is we're not going to have to be contesting caps ourselves. That's kind of the worst case, is if you are in a position where there's very few destroyers and you're one of the stealthiest ships on the team, and you kind of feel like maybe you should, but then there's CVs and radar and things, and it's not a good idea. Anyway, let's go for the middle to begin with. Maybe give this Kleber a little bit of, well, not support exactly. In terms of firepower, this thing is, as I'm sure you know, completely rubbish. Easily the worst tier 10 for firepower, but we do have some pretty decent torpedoes. Although at the moment we're on the 20-kilometer torps, the deep waters, so we can't do anything about that Stalingrad. But they're all a bit too far away for the non-deep waters. You've somehow never ever seen a video of Kitakami before. Yeah, that's the Kleber being outspotted by somebody. Stalingrad won't be close enough for radar yet. Then, yeah, the whole thing is that the torpedoes are the main armament, and you have this rolling reload. Basically, you have this sequential reload. So instead of everything being reloaded at once, which the earlier versions, from way back, the test versions of Kitakami had, you get the tubes being reloaded one by one. So in theory you can do the full broadside, but you have to have some real patience in order to do it. So we've only able to get 2 sets off there. I think we might use a smoke here. You do have a heal, but you don't have a lot of resilience otherwise, so I'll just spread some torps across that cap. Okay, they're over in that direction somewhere, and it is one of the Shimas. Alrighty. Although, I wonder if it's... Those torpedoes were spotted pretty early, and they're not moving very fast. So, not really... I don't know if it was me or the Kleber that spotted them, but... yeah. Either way, not that much of a threat. Okay, there's really nothing close enough for me to get torpedoes. Oh dear. Oh, having said that's not much of a threat. There's more torpedoes! There's more torpedoes! That's a problem. It's fine, I'm just getting that adrenaline boost. Okay, so that is a torp reload boost Shima rather than smoke shima. Okay. Because otherwise that's too many torpedoes. Either that or they're hacking. I should accuse them in the chat of hacking. That's how this is done, right? Anyway, let's try and squeeze past this hurdleo. Where's our Yamagiri at the moment? Are they around here somewhere? Oh yes, they are there. Okay. Yeah, I think the enemy team... Yeah, they've got the radar advantage, don't they? Which is helping them a bit. Well, we've got 2 per side, so let's put those out again. That's still a fairly healthy amount of torpedo firepower. We can't, like, given that this is a pair of... Oh, Yoda, you're going to block my torpedoes, are you? Hopefully they can get past the bow. There we go. Yeah, but them having the sneaky destroyers and... Oh, nice, that looks like good hits. That's very good hits. Seven hits. The 12-kilometer torps are not particularly strong, but they're not bad. They are fast, which is nice. The real, you know, powerhouse in terms of damage are the deep waters, but you can only, of course, use those against deep water torp targets. So, yeah, that's the Petro down, which is nice. The Salem actually looks like they're going to take some torps from that Yodo. So that's 2 of their radar cruisers out. The Stalingrad's here now as well, which is just fine. The Shima might be coming in this direction, however. So we've got the Sicilia there. We just lost Andalusia. Oh, I am spotted. That is the... Yeah, okay. That is the sneaky little Shima. I don't know if I can do much apart from... There's just some wide spreads. I don't know who's looking my way, but I'd rather not find out. We can hopefully get lucky. Maybe? Kind of hard to tell. So there goes the Sicilia. Yamagiri's now kind of alone and very close to us. Stalingrad, which is not especially a healthy place to be. And we do have some slow progress down at the B cap. But she's overall not looking necessarily that fantastic. Oh, it's the Delana that was in the cap. Okay. Thought it might be the Shima given their last position, but... I wasn't that far off, but considering it was a completely blind drop, yeah. It's not looking fabulous so far. Right, we can see if that Colombo gets picked up. We might be able to put some deep waters in their direction. Give that a go. There is, oh hello Lepanto, that would do as well, but if they're coming this way then that doesn't really help me out much. Not with these islands being in the way. The nature of this is such that it can be, like, there's a reason I don't play it that much. It's not the easiest ship to have an influence on the game in, just because you're so reliant on torpedoes. And yes, the torpedoes are very good, but the rest of the ship it's a tier 4 ship in tier 10. It just happens to have very good torpedoes. So it doesn't have a lot of survivability. It tends to get focused a lot. And if people are being smart about dodging torpedoes, there's only so much you can do. Even if you've, as I have with this, absolutely maximized, yes, that's the word, the the torpedo reload, and oh, that's B being capped. That's not so good. I think this is. I mean, we're not actually doing too badly in terms of like points and or in terms of ships, but in terms of points, actually, we are not doing that well. Right, we're going to do an awkward twirl here. Hopefully this Lepanto is absolutely not thinking there might be torpedoes in the water. Which way are you going, Lepanto? I might actually save this broadside for... because the Colombo's coming around there at some point. You have to be... yeah, it's only one hit. You do have to be thinking quite carefully about how and where you're going to use those torps. Right, where are you, Colombo? It would be real nice to know where they are. It's not an optimal angle for dropping torps. Oh, you're there, okay. If it was going to be a bow-on drop, but we'll see if we manage to get lucky. We'll stagger a drop here rather than just doing one big wall of torpedoes. I'm going to be a bit more cautious. Where's this Lepanto going? Would be nice to know. This thing with centerline launches would be, I don't want to say OP, but it would save you a lot of maneuvering. On the other hand, you would have, you know, far fewer launches, so yeah, and it wouldn't be the actual configuration this thing had in real life. I mean, there's a reason why, like they basically retrofitted the ship to try and, because this was like what, 1910s, 1920s design, something like that, the Kumas. They wanted to try and give it a bit more relevance, as it were, because it was kind of utterly inadequate in terms of firepower. Oh, hello, Lepanto. We are... Alright, your guns are facing the other way. You're very briefly spotted. 2 torpedoes, is that going to be enough? No, 24k is good damage, though. It's not going to take too much more to finish off that Lepanto. Nice, okay. Right, I'm going to head back now more towards the sea cap. There's still a Dalana somewhere that hasn't been spotted in a while. I think we're not doing too badly, but the points are maybe a problem, and I can't really do much about a Dalana that outspots me. I think they had overall the better destroyers for having sneaky caps. Although, having said that, Hayate is not too bad. Yamagiri is pretty sneaky. Kleber's the only unsneaky destroyer, and they're the only one that's left alive. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can manage to get in the sea cap. We do have both smoke and the boost available. Nice, there's a hit in the Colombo. So damage-wise, this has not been awful. We actually have a flood. So they're now down to about 24k. Who's dropping torps on the Lepanto? Probably the Shima. But the Colombo's about to go down. Right, we need this cap pretty badly. I can actually drop on the Rhode Island from here. Potentially, like if they go through that gap. We'll do a... Like, I don't think this is going to hit anything if they're turning more south. But we can do a pair of drops with the deep waters. Let's see if that catches anything. It is only the Rhode Island at this point that will be hit by the deep waters. It would possibly be useful to have radio location on this, but the thing is with radio location, there's not necessarily a lot you could do about things that are radio located. It will just maybe give you a slight idea of where your next incoming threat is from, rather than actively being able to hunt anybody. It would be much more defensive than proactive, as it were. Right, using my wholly inadequate firepower to try and assist this Kleber. And surprisingly, we weren't able to do that much. I have managed to heal back up to about half health, which is nice. I really hope I'm not getting set myself up for a nasty surprise coming around this corner. I more want to spot than anything else, but if I can drop on the Rhode Island, that would be nice. In fact, there is the Rhode Island. Kind of an awkward position for dropping torpedoes, unfortunately. Oh, and that is possibly Delana. Possibly... No, well, it will be the Delana. Nothing else can stealth spot me at the moment. Right, I don't think I'm going to get a drop, and I don't think I'm going to get the cap. That's going to be the Shima in the A cap, isn't it? Just manoeuvring hard right now. There's obviously going to be Delana Torps incoming. Alright, let's disrupt your line of sight with smoke. I don't think we're going to get a drop on that Rhode Island, are we? Yeah, you're sort of off in that direction. I may or may not get a lucky hit. We'll see. It's just this giant fan of torpedoes. Rhode Island's going down, which is absolutely fine. Honestly, the Delana could probably gun me down. I'm kind of surprised he's not opened fire. Okay, it's not to my immediate south if I'm still spotted. Of course, I don't have Hydra. So we really are just... Did one of my... Yeah, okay. One of my 12-kilometer torps hit somebody. Right, I think we're gonna have to try the cap. Even if it's just disrupting the points they have to give us a little bit of an extra edge. I guess they don't want to risk opening fire. I also do now have allies more nearby, so that's fine. Yeah, let's just go for the cap. Because this is pretty close. It does kind of, like, the Delana's not actively going after me. They're either sticking around... Yeah, well, there we go, spotted again. I think they're sticking around in the cap to try and fling torpedoes down south. There you are. Like I said, they can probably gun me down. That's how my allies, yes, are able to do something. Because, guns, not so much. It's my one gun that sort of points backwards, but let's hope he's just absolutely going to run into a torpedo. Nah! So close. I mean, there's not a lot I can do here. In fact, he's sticking with the AP. I mean, it's very dangerous when I'm broadside, but when I'm manoeuvring... Oh, please run into torpedoes. That would be so useful. Whoa, that's very close. Oh, that was so very close. 463. Okay. Okay. Just as we lost the Petro as well. Right. And we're about to win this one. That was a very close match. Had 20 odd victory points in it. But we won, and I actually did something to contribute, which is not always a given when you're playing this ship. So yeah, that wasn't a bad performance at all. I actually managed to get top of the team as well. Not entirely sure how, but yeah. We did land 14 torpedoes. And I even, like, for all the pew-pewing, only 13 hits with the guns. These are not good guns. These are barely worth mentioning as guns. So what was the torp damage? 24k flooding, 151k. 148 torpedoes launched. Wait, was it 13 hits or 14? That says... Oh, it's 13. Okay. Where did I get 14 from? Oh, 14 from the torpedoes. Duh. Anyway. So, you know, I did actually... I had fewer hits with my main battery than I had with torpedoes. It's a silly ship. Okay, this is actually better? I think better matchmaking. We've got the Stalingrad with its radar. Otherwise, unless the enemy Minotaur has radar. There is a submarine though, which could be a bit of a pain. Submarines are always a bit of a pain. But otherwise, plenty of battleships for me to go after with my deep waters. It's possibly a little bit of an awkward map in terms of... yeah, where do I go? I can try and drop some torpedoes through the sea cap, which is probably a useful thing to do early on. Bit of area denial. But in terms of actually doing a lot of damage there, it's going to be kind of tricky. And I can go around this side, which gives me better rate of fire. But, okay, I have no idea what that chat message was about. But then you're dropping torpedoes on things that potentially are just retreating away from you. So, not ideal. Right, we just about have range for the southern part of the cap. Whoever that was, we can actually report them. So, is it a clan? Maybe? I don't know. It was that guy, wasn't it? Anyway, report misbehaviour in chat. Saying naughty words. I never would, of course. Never ever. No, you'd have to get me playing World of Tanks and being repeatedly blatted by artillery before I start contemplating saying naughty words. What is that? Hurlio. I don't think I'm going to actively try and cap. Although, having said that, we now know where the Thrasher is and where the Shima is. This could actually be an opportunity to cap. Okay, let's go for it. The issue is that if something does pop up, although I have the smoke, it's kind of an awkward cap to get out of. I think the most sensible thing we can do is position to get out through that passage there. You do have to have a sort of destroyer mindset when you're playing this thing. Especially in terms of your positioning. Oh, the Herdilio is right there. They're going to be able to spot me. No, they're going the wrong way. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Be jolly awkward if they would just pop out and give me a broadside. Right, 20 seconds. This is slightly tense, but it's fine, probably. It's fine. Bismarck is actually poking a little bit as well. I'm hoping the Herdilio is just going to assume it's a battleship. And not do something completely radical like poke their head around, and you know, it kind of is a battleship, it's just also me. Okay, we have plenty of torpedoes. We have a Tirpitz B who's fairly close. We have the Shikishima off in the distance there. I am better off going for the Tirpitz just in terms of them having less torpedo mitigation, but I can't actually drop on them right now. So I guess we're going for the Shikishima. We're going for the delayed gratification of the ship that's 15 kilometers away rather than something that's much closer. Keep an eye on that Minotaur as well. Right, that hopefully is enough to do something a bit unpleasant to the Shikishima. Considering where I am, I can probably spray some more torpedoes in the direction they'll be accelerating. Oh, hello Minotaur, you're coming this way maybe? Or are you tucking in against the island? Okay, you're tucking in against the island. Right, so let's get a little look-see at what's going on with these torps. Nice. So this is the nightmare scenario. This is why in a game where you have one of these things on the opposing team, you don't sit at like 15, 16, 17 kilometers back and just kind of chill out in your Shikishima or Yamato or whatever, because you're just making yourself a nice big fat target for that kind of strike. Now if that had been a ship with less mitigation, it would have been sunk already. I don't think we're going to get to do adequate flooding damage. So I am radio located by, I assume, the Shima. I don't know that for sure. And maybe a drop on the Montana if we can wrangle it. not sure I like what's going on in this match overall. We seem a little disorganised. Oh, actually, we've got the Borodino. That's got a radar as well, doesn't it? Right, anyway, there goes the Shikishima, but I took an awful big chunk of their health. Oh, so that drop was... that was the wrong kind of torpedo. That was a wasted drop anyway. Never mind. That wasn't... Oh no, it was the right... Yeah, no, it wasn't. Wasn't the right kind of torpedo. It's fine. Gotta keep an eye on that. You don't even have to worry about shell types in this ship. Literally, you only have HE, but you do have to worry about torpedo types. Right, there we go. There's a cheeky little Shimakaze. Let's see if they ram into a torpedo or not. Bit of an engine boost. I guess we'll see if Knuckly manages to... I think we are going to head over on this flank now. Oh, yep. Nice, excellent, that worked. There you go. Much like the Benham, you can very much afford to just make these blind drops. Yeah, I would not have confined myself to that small area if I was that Shima, knowing there was going to be something with a lot of torpedoes nearby. But people, I guess, like, since this came out, you don't really see it that much, and I guess people are just not used to it. It's probably the biggest strength this ship has, is it's just not a common ship. People don't necessarily think about it. Although you saw how quickly I got targeted by, like, what was it, 4 or 5 people? I suspect that's just because I was a squishy looking cruiser in the middle. Okay, that Montana's moving, they're not going to hit, are they? It would be nice to get this cap, but I don't think I will, so maybe we'll just concentrate on the Preußen instead. Although chances are they're going to be actively manoeuvring, given that the... I presume the 2501 is pinging them. So it's not necessarily going to be the easiest target. Okay, middle's being capped again, probably the Herdelier. That's what I would assume. Can I pick them up? Maybe defend the cap. Don't think we can afford to lose the cap. We're actually ahead on points at the moment, but I don't want to risk things. It sort of started off messy and it's slowly resolving itself. Right, Herdelier, there you are. I should get a cheeky reset with my guns. If they hit, which they did not, never mind. Oh no, they did. There we go. Defended 3. They didn't do any damage, but I did get 3 defense flags. I did get the reset. Right, we're going to want... that's actually now within range of the 12-kilometre ones, but the deep waters are, as I've pointed out, the ones that do the most damage by far. You're flooding, so you're not very manoeuvrable. Actually, you look like you've got an engine knocked out as well. So, well, let's just see if we can finish you off. Don't think we're going to get to cap that, unfortunately. But, yeah, the team's getting that cap. They're going to start pushing across, so I can just basically sit and cause some Havoc. Try and stay unspotted. That looks like it's going to be a hit. Just clipped the belt, so not spectacular damage. Oh, hello, Montana. There's the Herdaleo coming this way, unsurprisingly. Be a bit weird if they were going the other way. This is 2 matches in a row where I'm actually getting to be a rather more active participant. You don't... It's not necessarily a guaranteed thing in this shit. Right, we'll just go for the Herdaleo. It's closer. Just a couple 100 meters away from my surface detection. I'm taking a risk going in front of this island. It's fine. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Well, this is why we have the smoke. This is why we have the smoke. I don't think we need to worry about caps at this point. No, that's sailed past, alas. Alright, let's wiggle around a bit. Drop on. There we go, someone else got the Herdaleo. Do a little bit of a spread on the Montana. I was busy scraping that corpse. I think these look all right. These look like we're going to get some hits. Which will be enough to let us break 200k. We're about to win this on points anyway. Nice. Okay, it's accelerated past where those ones are. Although the Wisconsin might go down, we might get a chance to... Oh, actually no, probably not. Even with the extra time we might get bought, I don't think we're going to have time for the torpedoes to get there if the Wisconsin does go down. Oh, there we go. Well, that was not too bad. Yeah, it was a bit of a messy start to that one. Neither team was being particularly coherent, is that the right word? I don't know, we weren't seeing any coordinated anything for a while. It was just trading back and forth. Both teams being rather reactive to each other, but I mean, we only lost 4 ships in the end, so that our ships were clearly, you know, we were trading far better in terms of damage than they were. To the point where we could just easily start making cohesive pushes. So yeah, over 200k that damage, 200k damage that time, and another 2000 base XP game. I swear it's not usually this consistent, but I don't know. Streamer hacks. That's what it is. It's YouTuber hacks. I obviously remembered to activate my hacks before I started recording. So that is the Kitakami in whatever the month is now, end of July. It's capable of results like that and better, but it is absolutely not that consistent. I don't want you to get a false impression of the thing. It was only 2 matches, so, you know, bear that in mind. Hopefully you found this entertaining, though. They were pretty decent matches, I think. And so if you did enjoy them, you can do all these usual things down underneath the video. And of course, as always, stay tuned for more.